Listen to me carefully. Life won't wait for you to be ready. It will hit, it will bruise, it will take things you never thought you could lose. But the real story is what you choose to do after the pain. We grow up believing life should be fair, that effort guarantees reward. Kindness always comes back, that love will be returned. But then reality shows up uninvited and unkind. Life hands out storms without warning. It tests you, breaks you, and sometimes it seems like the world is laughing while you bleed. And yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, maybe scarred, maybe tired, but alive. That means something. There's a moment every strong person goes through, a moment where you whisper to yourself, why me? Why did they leave? Why did you fail? Why wasn't your heart protected when you gave it honestly? But here's the truth. No one wants to admit life doesn't hand out justice. Life hands out battles, and fighters are born in battles, and everything around you falls apart. There's a silent voice inside, a voice most people never hear because they quit too early. But you hear it. It says, get up. Not because it's fair, because you're not done yet. If you're in the middle of hurt right now, don't pretend you're fine. Feel it. Let it sting. Let it change you. Pain is not a punishment. It's a teacher. It shows you who you are when the world stops being gentle. You are stronger than the moment trying to destroy you. You are bigger than the pain trying to shrink you. You are more than what left, more than what broke, more than what disappointed you. Life isn't fair, and maybe it never will be, but you fight anyway. There comes a day when you realize nobody's coming to save you. No miracle, no perfect timing, no sudden rescue. You look around and understand that your life is your responsibility, and that realization can feel heavy, but it's also the moment you take your power back. Because if no one is coming to save you, then you get to become the person who saves yourself. Life will place you in situations that feel unfair. People will hurt you without apology. You will give your heart to those who don't know how to hold it. You will work hard and sometimes still fail. You will love deeply and sometimes still lose. And every time it happens, you'll be tempted to stop trying. But strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is refusing to surrender to it. You can scream, you can cry, you can fall to your knees and question every choice you ever made. But when the tears dry, when the anger fades, when the room is quiet and there's nobody left to blame, you face yourself, and that's where the real fight begins. Do you choose bitterness, or do you choose growth? Do you shut down, or do you stand back up? Do you become cold, or do you stay human? Some people think being soft is weak, but there is nothing braver than feeling everything deeply and continuing to move forward. Anyone can disappear when life gets hard. Anyone can numb themselves, shut their heart down, and hide from the world. But you show up again, broken but present, hurt but hopeful, scared but still trying. That's what makes you powerful. You are not defined by who hurt you, who betrayed you, or who let you down. You are defined by how you rise, how you rebuild, how you refuse to let darkness become your identity. Life isn't fair. But you fight anyway because something inside you knows you're meant for more than just surviving. There's a part of life no one warns you about. Sometimes the people you expect to stand with you don't. Sometimes the people you trust the most disappear. And sometimes the ones you would have fought for won't lift a finger for you. That's when the world feels unfair in the most personal way. You start to question yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Was I not enough? Did I matter less than I thought? Why wasn't I worth the same loyalty I gave? But hear this clearly. Other people's choices are not a measurement of your worth. They are a reflection of their character, not yours. Life will remove people who can't stay loyal to your growth, not because you are unlovable, but because their presence would limit who you're becoming. Still, the loss hurts. Not every heartbreak comes from romance. Some come from friendships, family, people you believe were permanent. Losing them can feel like losing pieces of yourself. But that empty space they leave, that becomes room for strength to grow. You learn to depend on yourself. You learn what you will and will not tolerate. You learn to stop begging for love that should have been freely given. And most importantly, you learn this truth. Not everyone is meant to finish the story with you. Some people only belong to a chapter. Some were lessons. Some were warnings. Some were mirrors showing you what you never want to be. So don't chase people who walked away. Don't break yourself to keep someone else comfortable. Don't shrink to fit into the spaces you've outgrown. You deserve connection that stands firm when life turns dark. You deserve loyalty without conditions. You deserve people who don't disappear when you need them most. Life isn't fair when it takes people you never wanted to lose, But you fight anyway because your heart is still capable of love, trust, and new beginnings. And one day you will look back and say, I didn't lose anyone. I just made room for better. There is a moment in every fighter's life when you wake up and feel completely broken, not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. You're exhausted. You're tired of being strong. You're tired of pretending everything is fine. And a quiet question creeps in. What's the point of fighting anymore? That question is dangerous. It can pull you into darkness. It can convince you that your story is over. But let me tell you something that will shake your soul. You don't fight because life is easy. You fight because the world hasn't beaten you yet. When everything feels hopeless, that's when your heart begins building a new version of you, silent, stronger, wiser. Pain changes you, yes, but it doesn't have to destroy you. You don't heal by forgetting. You heal by surviving what tried to break you. Some days you'll move forward bravely, and some days you'll move forward slowly, shaken, unsure. But as long as you move, you are winning. There will be nights where sleep won't come. Nights filled with overthinking, replaying memories, wishing for different endings. But every sunrise proves something powerful. You made it through what felt unlivable. You might not see your progress yet. You might feel stuck. But growth is happening even when you don't feel it. Every tear is releasing what doesn't belong. Every breath is proof you're still fighting. Every heartbeat is a refusal to quit. You don't need to have it all together. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to keep showing up. Because strength is not loud. Strength is breathing through pain no one sees. Strength is trusting that your future will be bigger than your suffering. Life isn't fair, but you fight anyway, not because everything makes sense, but because deep in your soul, you know your story isn't finished. The world hasn't seen the strongest version of you yet, but it will. There will come a time when life asks you to let go of people, of plans, of versions of yourself that no longer exist, and letting go is one of the hardest fights you'll ever face because holding on feels safe. Even when it hurts, even when it's killing your peace, we cling to what we know, relationships that broke us, memories that haunt us, hope that someone will come back and finally choose us. But healing begins the moment you stop waiting for the past to fix itself. Letting go isn't weakness. Letting go is power. It's admitting this no longer deserves space in my life. It's whispering, I deserve better than this. It's accepting what ended was never the end of me. The world will tell you to move on, as if pain has an off switch. But grief doesn't disappear, it transforms. And every time you release something that hurt you, you make space for something that can grow you. You are not defined by the people who left. You are defined by the courage it took to let them go. Sometimes life takes away what you thought you needed so it can make room for what you truly deserve. You don't see it now, but one day you will look back and say, if that didn't break, I would have never become who I am today. Letting go is an act of self-respect. It's refusing to chase what ran. It's refusing to beg for love you earned. It's refusing to carry pain that was never yours to hold. And yes, it will hurt. You will question yourself. You will miss people who were never meant for your future. But you will also breathe again. You will smile again. You will feel sunlight in places that once lived in darkness. Life isn't fair when it forces you to release people you wanted forever, but you fight anyway because you are finally choosing yourself. And that choice stops the cycle of pain and begins the story of your freedom. There's a part of healing nobody talks about. You don't wake up one morning magically healed. You don't suddenly stop hurting. You don't forget what happened. Healing is slow, sometimes painfully slow. You take 3 steps forward, and then life drags you 2 steps back. One good day followed by a week of falling apart. You laugh in the afternoon and cry at night. People think you're fine because you smile, but inside you're holding yourself together piece by piece. That does not mean you're failing. That means you're human. Healing is messy. Healing is uncomfortable. Healing is doing the work no one sees. It's waking up when you want to stay in bed forever. It's choosing kindness when anger feels easier. It's trusting again, even though the world taught you to be afraid. Some days you won't feel strong at all. You'll feel fragile, tired, overwhelmed, and you'll wonder why the pain isn't gone yet. But listen carefully, every tear is progress. Every boundary you set is progress. Every time you say, no, I deserve better, you are rebuilding your life from the inside out. Healing doesn't erase what happened. Healing transforms you so it can't control you anymore. One day you will think about the things that hurt you, and it won't break you. One day, you will speak your story without trembling. One day, the wound will become wisdom. You are not behind. You are not weak. You are healing at the speed your heart can handle. Life isn't fair for giving you pain you didn't deserve, but you fight anyway because you refuse to let the world turn your heart cold. You are becoming someone stronger, someone softer, someone wiser, someone who survives without losing their soul, and that is something only the brave can do. There will be people who look at your strength and call it stubbornness, people who look at your resilience and call it pride, people who expect you to break just because they would have broken if they lived your life. Ignore them. They don't know the battles you're fighting quietly. They don't know how many times you wiped your own tears. They don't know what it took for you to stand back up. People love to judge what they've never survived. Some will say, just let it go, as if pain disappears when someone else is uncomfortable with it. Some will say, you should be over it by now, as if trauma runs on a schedule. Some will say, you're too strong, as if strength is something to apologize for. But here's the truth. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not too strong. You are exactly who you needed to become to survive what life threw at you. When the world gets loud with opinions, stay loyal to your truth. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need yourself. The same people who judge your journey would crumble under your weight. The same people who call you dramatic have never felt your pain. And the same people who think you're unbreakable don't realize you bleed in silence. But through all of it, you continue loving even when it scares you. You continue caring even after being hurt. You continue fighting even when you're tired. That is courage. Life isn't fair when people criticize pain they've never experienced, but you fight anyway because you don't live for their approval. You live for your healing, your growth, your peace. One day, the same people who doubted you will look at your life and realize you didn't need their support. You only needed your own strength. There would be days when motivation disappears, days when you don't want to get out of bed, don't want to try, don't want to hope, days where your body feels heavy and your spirit feels empty, and you'll think, if I'm this tired, maybe I'm not meant to keep going. But exhaustion doesn't mean you're done. It means you've been fighting battles most people never see. Rest does not equal failure. Taking a breath does not mean you're weak. Pausing does not mean you've given up. Even warriors set down their armor. You don't have to be strong every second. You don't have to be smile through heartbreak. You don't have to pretend you're okay when you're not. Sit with your pain. Cry if you need to, sleep if your soul is tired, because healing requires rest just as much as it requires effort. And when the world tells you to push harder, listen to your heart instead. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop and breathe. But here's what makes you extraordinary even after resting, even after breaking down, even after losing pieces of yourself. You rise again, maybe slowly, maybe quietly, maybe with shaking hands and a trembling voice. But you rise. There is a kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't roar, doesn't ask for attention. It whispers, not today, but soon. And that is enough. Every time you decide to keep living, despite the pain, despite the fear, despite the unfairness of life, you win. You win when you choose healing over bitterness. You win when you choose hope over despair. You win when you choose to stay when leaving the world would be easier. Life isn't fair when it drains you until you feel empty, but you fight anyway, because something inside you refuses to let darkness have the final word. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to fall apart. Just don't stop rising. There is a powerful truth most people never learn. You don't grow from comfort. You grow from struggle. Every setback you've survived has taught you something. Every heartbreak reshaped your heart. Every disappointment carved out space for a stronger, wiser version of you. Life has been unfair, yes, but it has also been preparing you. You didn't become resilient by accident. You became resilient because life demanded it. Think about the moments that changed you the most. They weren't the easy ones. They were the nights you cried, the days you felt invisible, the times you were forced to rebuild from nothing. It was pain that sharpened you. It was loss that strengthened you. It was hardship that revealed who you really are. And while the world sees your strength now, they don't see the history behind it. They don't see the storms you walked through silently. They don't see the battles you fought alone. They don't see the moments you almost quit. But you didn't. Something mighty lives in you, a spirit that refuses to surrender. You are not defined by your wounds. You are defined by the courage it took to heal them. Your scars are not proof of weakness. They are the medals of someone who went to war with life and survived. Every time you kept going when it hurt, every time you believed in better when life gave you worse, every time you stood back up after falling apart, you were building a version of yourself that nothing and no one can destroy. Life isn't fair. It broke you in ways you never expected, but it also built you in ways you never imagined. And now you stand in your strength, not because life was kind, but because you refuse to stay broken. You are the definition of fight. You are the proof that a wounded heart can still beat loudly, and you are nowhere near done. There comes a moment, quiet, powerful, undeniable, when you realize something life-changing. You survived every single thing that was meant to destroy you, every heartbreak, every loss, every betrayal, every night you cried and still woke up the next morning. You didn't just survive, you transformed. You are no longer the person who once broke easily. You are no longer the person who depended on others to feel worthy. You are no longer the person who needed approval to feel strong. Life hardened you in some places, softened you in others, and rebuilt you everywhere else. And now you stand here, still fighting, still breathing, still refusing to give up. There is power in that. You are living proof that life can be unfair and still meaningful, painful and still beautiful, unkind and still worth waking up for. You don't need to pretend the journey was easy. You don't need to hide your scars. You don't need to apologize for the strength you earned. Your story matters. Your fight matters. Your survival matters. So here's the truth you take with you from this moment forward. You don't rise because life is fair. You rise because you are unstoppable. Every morning you choose to try, every breath you take after heartbreak, every dream you still dare to believe in is evidence that nothing has defeated you. The world has no idea how powerful you've become. You've learned to heal without closure, love without guarantees, grow without approval, stand without support. And now your future is wide open. Life isn't fair. It never was. But you fight anyway because your heart still wants more, because your soul still hopes, because your story isn't finished.